hold my tongue never. I say what I feel, look you in the eye, never ran, never will. Hold my own destiny, both hands on the wheel. In the darkness they found light, so at the top of your lungs scream, this ain't life. So when they move left, you move right, you move right. Hold my tongue never, I say what I feel, look you in the eye, never ran, never will. Hold my own destiny, both hands on the wheel.
All right, good evening. Welcome everyone to tonight's taping of LUDE Presents Rabbit Holes. Got a couple special guests here today, so I'm just going to bring them on one by one. First one, got a returning guest. He was on the first episode we ever put live on YouTube. This is my old friend, Mr. Creed Branner. Mr. Creed Branner, how are you, sir?
Good evening, Bossman. It's good to be back.
Barely see you there. Did you shrink?
Probably in my old age, but this is the highest my chair goes, unfortunately.
Oh, you're just a little guy. All right. Well, we'll have to make do with what we got, Creed.
There we go.
Oh, that's okay. There we go. I guess you're not as short as I thought.
I can make myself taller, but there we go.
All right. Maybe we can talk like some chiropractics. Maybe you can strengthen or elongate your spine that way.
Well, gravity is a bitch.
All right, let's bring on our special guest tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's joining us from, he's a big presence on YouTube. He has some other platforms as well. I'll let him tell you about them himself. But here's our guest. We've got the Armed Fisherman here tonight. So Solo, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man. Thanks for reaching out.
You're very welcome. I'm glad we had a nice little chit chat and we got you to come on the show here tonight.
Hey, it's about education and knowledge, and the only way to do it is you got to get it out there, regardless.
That's right.
Any way, shape, or form,
So this is kind of like the second episode that I've done like this. So, every episode's LUDE Presents Rabbit Holes, but each episode's a little bit different. But the other night I did an episode on income taxes, and I had a state attorney professor came on and told me about the history of income taxes. It was like I was in graduate school for 1 hour,
Yeah.
So tonight we're kind of going to learn about, I guess, your rights, and you're going to kind of tell us a few things and some pointers, and we'll kind of ask some stories along the way.
Oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be some stories.
All right, that's what this show is about. It's about learning, and it's about stories. So Armed Fisherman, give us your first story. Tell us like how you got started.
Average fisherman, 8 years old, been fishing my whole life. One day I'm fishing under a bridge, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 in the morning. And fishing's good. I'll tell you, that spot I go to, I could show you pictures of 40-inch fish. I caught, I think it was roughly about a 5.5-foot stingray off that bridge.
Like you knew the times, you knew the highs and lows, like you knew when to be there.
No, say, let's just go. Let's go.
All right.
But the spot that I'm fishing, a lot of times the fish are there. It's just about if they're biting. But I was there for not even 5 minutes. I threw the line in the first time. I reel it in, and the next thing you know, I hear some shuffling feet. I look back, and I'm like, 2 guys are walking at me, and I'm like, all right, you guys are normally not here, and you're not fishing, so what's up?
Yeah.
They come down there, and I'm, this isn't a racist thing. It's just me pointing out the fact that they were Spanish, not saying anything like that.
Okay.
But they were Spanish. They were asking for my money. My Spanish isn't that great. I spent some time in Costa Rica, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But anyway, they asked me for my money, and I'm like, I'm looking at them, and all I do is swing my fishing pole at them, and I start running. And mind you, my gun's in my car. I knew that I could carry my gun lawfully in a holster in my glove compartment.
Right.
For everybody out there, we'll talk about some of those statutes, but under the 790 statutes, one of the only ways you can carry a firearm with you is actually in your glove compartment, as long as it's in an enclosed enclosure, and as long as it's sealed up somewhere that's not on your person, you're good to go.
Is that the state of Florida, or is that
just Florida?
Okay.
Florida.
All right.
look into your own gun laws. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not telling you what to do, but I do know these laws, and I know that carrying in your glove compartment, completely lawful. Well, I'll pull that statute up here in a little bit, and we'll help you out with that. But
Now, that's a registered firearm, right?
we don't have to register for firearms here in the state of Florida.
Okay, that's
Let's
a
just
state
say,
specific. Yeah.
right. Let's just say your uncle gave you his firearm when he passed. It was under his name. They'll find out. They can do a record request and check you the firearm, or they can do their search. It'll come up as your uncle. And they're like, "How did you get it?" I got it from my uncle. Who's your uncle? So and so. That's not illegal. So in Florida, you don't have to register your firearm, and something. That's the great thing about Florida. We don't have to register it, but at the same time, you do have to carry it lawfully. And one of the ways you can carry it in your car is in your glove compartment.
Okay. All right. So that's the start of your interactions, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that was the start of why I did it. I was about to get robbed, and my gun's in my car, but these guys were about to. Who knows what they would have done? If you don't know about the Parkland, I'm not going to mention his name, but the Parkland guy, he basically started this whole thing. The person that in Parkland, laws were changed here in Florida. As an 18-year-old, you were lawfully allowed to go in and buy a rifle. After Parkland, they made legislation that made it impossible for any 18-year-old to lawfully purchase a firearm. So 21 and up, you go drinking and driving, you drink 21, buy a gun, you got to be 21 now. And it's just like willing to send all these kids off to war, this, that, and the other, give them firearms that are more. And it just, Parkland, it's a tragedy, but it created a lot of these other things like Moms Demand Action and other. And so I see all these people coming after the gun, just one specific gun. But now, 4 years later, they're just wrapping it all into one. They're like high capacity magazines. That's anything over 10 in their eyes. We're going to keep losing and losing. And if we don't, for me, that's why I stood up. I was like, I don't agree with this. There are good people with guns, and I'm a walking, talking, emulating factor of that.
I mean, it's there was a cause that started it, so that's there's a reason for everything. So how long ago did you start filming the interactions? I guess like when you.
Well, my YouTube channel started as kayak fishing,
right,
and then it all wrapped into this. And I'd say for about 4 years I've been doing the filming of. I've always been filming, but now it's just been filming and then seeing police interactions. And the funny thing about YouTube is you could go, let's say you just go to any random channel and they have a police interaction.
Yeah.
I promise you that's going to be one of their number one videos is with that police. And people want to see train wrecks like that. They want to see the police. They want to see this dialogue between police and the people.
You don't know what part of your idea is going to take off, but
no, you don't.
Did this, and now you're doing it for a reason, which is awesome.
Yeah. People enjoy it, and everybody's like, "Oh, you do this for clicks, views, and money, and this." And I'm like, I tell people all the time, my channel, like even right now, my channel is kind of hurting because I go out, but there's not a lot of police interactions, and that's what they want to see. But I still post a video. It's about the education. So what you're actually witnessing is me talking to the people, explaining the law, seeing their reactions, and all that's what I actually genuinely like is the people reaction.
No, I mean I think it's awesome of you to do that because I'm sure you are helping, all sorts of people in all sorts of ways. I mean, with your information, I mean it's going to hit people different ways, but at least you're getting it out there. I'm very happy you shared that with us. That was cool. We got a little backstory on the Armed Fisherman. And any part of that you want to go back to, you're free on Rabbit Holes.
Oh yeah.
Anywhere.
Some of it's all just redundant, but I'm sure some of your viewers are probably wanting to hear some juicy stuff.
Well, that's
And
that's kind of. I mean, another reason why you're here, because this show, like I said, it's informative, it's storytelling,
oh
it's
yeah,
fun
it's about
laughs.
to be, we're about to get into the storytelling and
Yeah, yeah, and I can
so
already tell, through our communication thus far, you're a very good storyteller, and that's
uh,
perfect here for Lude Presents.
this is gonna be
Creed.
good.
Yeah, I'm just listening for these stories.
So
Yeah, I watched all those videos. They're all pretty interesting. It's all in Florida.
Yeah, everything's in Florida from the Panhandle all the way down to the Keys. There's a lot of places in the central part of Florida that I haven't been,
yeah,
but that's my next goal is to really try to hit the central and the northeast.
yeah, I'll tell you what, man. There's a there's a lot of spots in Florida to hit. So yeah,
Never
but I
run
mean,
dry.
from one end to the other end, it's got to take I don't know, like 15 hours or
Um,
something.
I'll tell you, yeah, it's roughly about that from one to the end. But from my house all the way to the Panhandle was 8 hours,
Okay.
and I will tell you, I don't wish that drive on anybody. That drive sucks.
Yeah.
A lot of nothing in that drive.
Yeah, there's a lot of nothing. You start hitting certain parts, and it's just like, oh, look, it's cows. Oh, look, it's pine trees.
When those
Oh,
when those signs say 40 miles to rest stop or 40 miles to gas, like if you don't get gas, you're in trouble.
oh, you're done. You better have AAA. That's all I can tell you right now.
Well, Florida has the Road Ranger. The Road Ranger will give you like a gallon of gas or something. So
Well, yeah. They'll give you a gallon of gas, but that ain't gonna get you to the gas station when you're still
true.
60 miles away.
Yeah,
So what's
true.
the Road Ranger?
He pretty much flat tires, run out of gas, stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's like
they're on the highways, and if you're, if they catch you on the highway and you need gas or something happens, they try to solve little things. And yeah, I think they're actually sponsored by AAA as well. And if they can, they'll get you a tow truck pretty quick and things of that nature. But
Yeah,
yeah,
is that Florida
that's just
specific breed? They don't have that anywhere else.
I just from Florida. That's all I know.
Yeah, Creed. Do you know? Do they have that anywhere up north?
I've never even heard of Road Runner until now. Just AAA.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So a nice little people in the state of Florida. If you don't know about Roadrunner, get the number on your phone
Yeah.
in case something ever
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
So
All right, so Creed didn't go. He didn't get the good stuff like I want. I mean, so
Yeah.
like I want to know like you do it. There's a reason you do it. It's informative, but also there's moments that are fun. So I want to
Oh
know
yeah.
like some of the most fun videos you've made and like why they were fun, like what the interactions were.
One of the fun ones. It wasn't the original, like the bad Miami Beach incident,
Yeah.
but there was 2 times I went down to Miami Beach, and I can't. I think it was right at the beginning of spring break and another one at the end of spring break,
Mm-hmm.
and it was more like I said with the people. People were walking up to me. I'm walking up to people.
So people knew
And
you at this point, yeah.
oh yeah, and all these people were just like, "Oh, you're that guy," da da da, and I'm like, "Yeah, man, what's up?" And those, especially Miami Beach, is because you just have this whole different culture of everybody.
Oh
It's like a
yeah,
melting pot. So
exactly.
it's like to actually talk with people and things like it. It's pretty awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I
And I
mean,
always
I
tell that
mean,
to people.
it had to feel cool for the first time to be like looked at like like people know you that you don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
It had to be a cool feeling.
yeah, dude. It's extremely humbling.
Yeah.
Like I could tell you about. I was in Palm Beach the other day.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't even open carrying. I was just out there, and granted, I had my vest on, but I'm out there. I've got a sign that says "free hugs," and I'm wearing a body plate, all my AR mags and shit. My gun's in the car. I'm about to go fishing. I just want to. They're having this car rally, and all these people are there, and I'm like,
Just taking
I'm
some
getting hugs
photos.
from. I'm getting hugs from like people, girls, guys, all this shit. I'm like, dude, I'm recording all this shit. I'm like, dude, this is freaking awesome. And then people are like, hey, it's you. You're the guy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy.
You're the guy. It's like a movie.
That guy. Or
Gosh.
was that? I think I can't remember the movie. I think it was Loathing, something in Loathing, and
Las Vegas.
Yeah, living in Las Vegas or something like that.
Johnny
I
Depp.
mean, it's like you're that guy.
I didn't follow the Johnny Depp stuff too much. Did you guys?
Yeah.
No, that stuff was. You mean the courtroom stuff?
Yeah.
That's despicable
yeah.
for our country. That's how. That was a thing. You know, like the OJ case is one thing, and we've now dwindled ourselves to Johnny Depp and Eve Heard, like, or whatever, Amanda Heard. It's just disgusting.
I mean, I know one part of the trial was about a claim of like shitting on the bed.
Yeah,
I heard about that too. I didn't watch the show. I did hear about that.
There was a lot of things. I heard about her throwing a bottle and his finger getting lopped off or something.
Yeah, he was
pooping in the bed.
Yeah.
Like all these crazy stories, and then like, you know, he got smart and he started just recording all these things when she would go on her tantrums.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you know, I'm not criticizing a lot of the younger people.
Yeah.
There's some great ones out there that have their heads on their shoulders, but a lot of them are entitled. They think I should be given everything. And that was a clear case of I deserve.
I'm guessing that you're in our age range then, because I've been like noticing that a lot too.
Yeah, you could take a swing at it, but I'm thinking and probably off by at least 10 years.
You've got to be in the 40 range.
Oh, damn it, dude! How'd you know?
You're talking like we're the same age, because that's how I think too. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
no.
It's just like a weird thing with the new generation. You know?
Yeah, no, it is, and you know, and it's not that. You know, it's partly to do with social media.
Yeah.
For sure.
If I got a TikTok account just because somebody created the Armed Fisherman on TikTok and created it as my name. Like, I don't have a TikTok, so I had to create one. And once I got on it, and I don't play on it, I give two shits about it.
Yeah.
But I look at it sometimes and I'm like, this is what they're watching. Like, this is one of their main platforms.
As much as I don't like it, like somebody told me the other day, they're like, even if you don't do anything, you got to put something on TikTok. Like, that's where everybody's at. Everybody's at TikTok. Blah blah blah.
Everybody is at TikTok.
I was like, I don't know.
Everybody's on TikTok.
I hate TikTok. The only time if I get something kind of viral, I'll post it on there to send them over to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and but TikTok hates firearms. So I have to be so selective on what I put on there, because
you'll get like one of those censorship things or whatever.
And if they were to delete my TikTok right now, I'd be like, no, it's not going to happen for me. Some of these kids, they're like, they ball, create another account. They ball on their new account. TikTok finds out and they're like, we're going to cancel that one too. And they're like, I'm going to cancel it again.
They just keep making new ones though, don't they? And then it gets
stopped. That's all they do. Yeah. Create a new email account and boom, back on TikTok.
I mean, as much as I would love to say I'm everywhere, it takes too much time, man. I can't make videos like
that. I tried to do Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and between, because and they're all different, because you have to put the videos in different formats for each one.
Too much work.
If I was getting paid thousands from Instagram and Facebook, maybe, but I'm not. I make my money off of YouTube, so
hey, take it how you get it, right?
Yeah.
So do the police even come up to you anymore now?
Yeah, they still come out. Recently it's been very non even. They just they drive up, drive away. You know,
and that's probably a good thing too.
Oh yeah.
They know that you're getting the message out there, you know.
Yeah, as I was gonna say, they probably know everything.
Yeah, and mind you, you know, for me, like we were talking about going up north, where it takes me like 8 hours to get up to the Panhandle. Mm-hmm. It still takes me 4 hours to get to certain spots where I haven't been, 4 to 5.
Right.
You know, and that's all time away. That's gas, lodgings, this, that, and the other. And a lot of people on YouTube, I don't expect them to understand that, but I understand it as a business. I just bought a 360 camera to give you a different perspective of what's going on behind me. As you know, when I walk past people, people look at me and they're like, "Whoa." I wanted to see the reaction behind me, so I bought a 360 just to get that reaction.
Yeah.
And so I'm bringing that to light. And for me, it's a great video. And I haven't had any police interactions with this video camera yet.
Yeah.
So once I do get that police interaction, it's going to be interesting because they surround me. Every time I go out, they always do they'll bring 2-3 people deep. One's in front of you, one's on the side of you, and then there's another one that's coming up behind you. And
So, I mean, for you to experience that, I mean, like some of those experiences had to be just a little. I mean, I don't want to bring them up if you don't want to talk about them, but they.
we're going to talk about them. No, we're good. We're gonna talk about them, and we're gonna talk a little smidgen about my lawsuit too.
We can do that. We can do that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk. We got. If you got time, I got time.
When you
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
That's right. That's right. So yeah. So like, when did it turn? When was it different? You know, when were the normal interactions a different interaction?
From like I said from the beginning, everything was really chill. A lot of the events and things I went to, it was very, interactions were very kind, cordial, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Before actually, let me go grab a beer, and then we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. So hold on.
Sounds good. So Creed, been a while since you've been on the show. How you been, sir?
The show's blowing up since I've been on the show.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We need some help from our audience. We need our audience to.
What's with the parrots?
I'm in my garage right now. I had to leave my office for something, and I wanted to make it look presentable, so I put the.
I kind of like the background. I think it should be permanent. You got like the Folgers can, a little stuffed animal.
Well, that's a squirrel. I need some squirrels, but what was I gonna say?
Oh, the license plate. Those are back from.
Oh yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it was just a messy tool bench that never got used. So what the heck, right?
You got every license plate, every state?
No, I only got like 25 states.
Oh, why'd you give up?
I don't work at a junkyard anymore.
Junkyard dog.
Yeah.
Where are your cats at?
Mine are sleeping.
What kind of beard you get there, fisherman?
Oh, hey, you got cats too? All right, what's up? We're cat bros.
Yeah. Yeah, they're way less maintenance. I like less maintenance.
That's not the only reason I don't have a dog, but that's part of it. I mean, I don't want to go for how many walks a day you go on, Creed?
How many walks?
Yeah, one dog. How many walks a day?
About 4.
Oh, forget that.
Yeah, but they're only. I mean, I go 5-minute walks maybe.
I don't want to walk anywhere.
It doesn't look like you've been doing much walking.
Oh,
shit!
Hey, did you get?
I know the podcast adds 10 pounds, but
did you get the COVID-20 or whatever they called it? No, you were out. You were filming during that time, so you didn't get the COVID-20.
You asking me?
No, Solo.
Yeah, I actually, my wife brought it home to me. I got it once, and
No,
I didn't take. I only got it once, but
not COVID, not COVID. I'm saying the COVID 20 pounds. Everybody gained 20 pounds when they.
Oh no, dude, I'm skinny as a rail, bro.
Yeah.
I don't gain 20 pounds. I'm actually gaining weight right now. I've been doing sit-ups and push-ups for the last week, and I gained 5 pounds in a week. So I'm like,
if I could commit myself to 1 week, maybe I could too. But I make it like I made it 3 days to the gym last month, and I canceled my gym membership.
No, dude. What I'm telling you, and when I say working out, same thing with his walking his dogs 5 minutes. I'm talking about I just take 5 minutes and I start power crunching.
Yeah.
And then I'll go and chill, do what I got to do, edit some videos, and then I'll go 5 minutes, pound out some friggin' push-ups.
I remember Creed Branner when we were younger. He got in trouble for doing too many arms days. He was all arms. That's all he was.
I don't do any arm days. I do much more leg days now.
Oh, you're a leg day man now?
Yeah, today was a leg day. How do you make it 3 days in the gym, boss man, and just give up?
I'm gonna try my HOA gym now. The paid gym wasn't worth it. I'm gonna try the free one.
Yeah, the free one's better, dude.
Yeah.
Way better. More quiet. More like you get in the gym and you see these guys just sitting there.
Yeah.
And you're
I didn't
like,
like it. I didn't like
yeah,
it.
I'm like, yeah,
I'm over there running on the treadmill with the girls.
dude. If it's like to ask one of those guys to spot you when you're doing 135, and they're like 135. Come on, bro. You even lift, dude. Come on, dude.
Exactly. That's I'm doing the machines, and they're on like the second lowest weight. I'm looking around, maybe they can see me.
Yeah. No, I feel you, bro. Dude, that's how I feel when I go to the gym too. That's why I'm trying to do what I can, and I'll
Yeah.
get a little mass,
Yeah.
and then I can go back to the gym. And
Yeah.
I really don't care what people think, but it's for me when I go in there. And especially like I don't have a bunch of guys that want to go to the gym with me.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of guys that want to drink beer with me, but not a lot.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
I don't
But
know.
they're
I think
all
we're similar. I don't know about this Creed guy, but that's yeah. I don't have guys that A want to go to the gym with me. B do I want to go to the gym with? I don't want
No,
to
I
go
don't like
work
going
out
to
with
the gym.
another guy.
I like going to the gym by myself. Put my earphones in,
Yeah.
headphones on, and just relaxing.
Come on, bro. I'll spot you.
yeah.
They are those gyms are super busy. Those fancy ones. That's what's too ridiculous about them.
Yeah.
There are too many people in there.
And then, like, did you ever see the contract they try to make you sign?
I've
Well,
never read it. I just signed it. I was like, "Here's my
It's
money."
like 6 pages long. Yeah, and they
I don't
want
read
your
the
bank
details.
account. They won't take a credit card.
I don't know. I take my credit card. The gym I have takes my credit card. I don't know what kind of shiesty gym you're going to.
Not the Turkish bathhouse down the street. Not that one.
So let's hear about the lawsuit case.
All right. Well,
You take us where you want to take us.
all right. Well, we'll give them more context.
Yeah.
Everything was going good. I started doing events and things like that, and things are going good. I get to Miami Beach, and this is the first time I go to Miami Beach. And we're sitting out there, and I run into a park ranger, and he's like, no, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. He gets on the phone. He's like, oh, we got everybody that I was with that day. There were 6 of us. 5 of them had concealed weapons permits, but I didn't. And so this is the only way I can carry my firearm legally. He's like, oh, that's going to be a problem. You don't have a concealed weapon. That's a problem. He gets on the phone. He's like, this guy out here with the afro, and legitimately says, this guy out here with the afro doesn't have a concealed weapons permit, and he's openly carrying. First guy they get to is me. Next thing you know, and I'm on a Facebook live stream on the organization where there's lawyers that are watching as this is going down live. I turn, next thing you know, I'm looking down the barrel of 3 guns, and I'm like, they're like, hands up, hands down, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. And I'm like, dude, I ain't touching my gun. I ain't doing nothing. I'm like, and that was the first bad experience. And then after that, it was just, I was like, you know, some people need to learn. So now we fast forward 4 years, and now I'm in Miami again. It's a small town in Miami. It's called Ball Harbor.
Okay.
And I'm doing this pro se. And if you don't know what pro se is, it's actually when you're taking on a lawsuit by yourself. I am not a lawyer, and that's why I will tell everybody I am not a lawyer. I just happen to know some laws, and I happen to know some case law that is very pertinent to my case.
Well,
what is pertinent to your case, you need to look into the laws, you need to look into the case law. And if you ever wanted help, you can always reach out to me, and I can help kind of guide you. I can't give you legal advice. I can say, hey, look into this, and look into this. And I can tell you, I can say, hey, go down to the federal courthouse, and this is how you can file it. That's all I can basically do. I cannot do it for you.
Well,
so,
hey, I mean, and you have to say that because you know you.
Because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, the Armed Fisherman told me. Like, no, I'm not that person. Yeah. So, mind you, now we're in Bell Harbor. I'm going fishing, and we're at the back end of the COVID. And our governor made fishing and a bunch of other things essential. So, before I went there, I think it was like 4 or 5 months, they were under very strict restrictions. You know, social distancing, no more than 6 people, fishing. You couldn't be on the beach. You couldn't do this, X, Y, and Z. So he lifts that, and I'm going to go down to Miami, and I end up going up and over a bridge, and somebody calls the police. I see the police coming, and I actually saw people fishing on the other side. I saw people fishing where I was going.
Yeah.
And they approach, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm just going fishing. This guy reaches out and tries to grab my gun. And when he tries, I'm like, hey, dude, stop. I'm like, my Fourth Amendment right. He's like, yeah, whatever type of thing. And I'm like, what? I'm like, whoa. I'm like, this isn't going well. And just like I was telling you, police surround you. So I've got the arresting officer coming at me. I've got another one pulling up in front of him. He's coming up on the other side of me. And then I have another one coming up on the left side of me. And so I'm focused on the officer that he's talking to. The other ones are coming from the other side. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, this is not going to go well.
No, nope.
Yeah, I mean, I
Sure
have to
enough.
say, man, I can't imagine. I don't know if I can say I feel sorry for you, but yeah, it had to be difficult.
Oh, dude. And I'm trying to hold myself together because I'm like, whoa. I'm like, you can even hear they're saying things. I'm like, hey, let's slow down here, guys. I'm like,
Yeah.
and before the whole interaction took about, I think, 6 to 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Within the first 6 to 8 minutes of me meeting these people, I'm in handcuffs. All this, they run me through the jail. Now we get to the court proceedings, and when I'm at the court proceedings, you go to an arraignment first. If you don't know how these things work, first thing is you go to the judge, guilty, not guilty, no contest, whatever. I'm like, not guilty as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And so
you represented yourself, right?
No, for the criminal, I did not.
Oh,
I hired a lawyer.
Okay.
So a month and a half passes, and I get another letter, and it says arraignment, and I'm like, why am I getting arraigned for? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, did you have to? Were you out? Or did you get out on bail, or what'd you do?
Yeah, I was out on bail. I was it was the total amount was $1,500.
Okay.
You know, I paid like $200 to get out.
Hoping you weren't in jail the whole time, man.
No.
Okay.
I got out 24 hours later, and it took me forever to get my property back too. That part sucked too. I don't even want to talk about that. But we're going through this whole fucking shit. I get to the second arraignment, and the judge is like, "Why is he back here for another arraignment?" This is the judge, mind you. And the state's like, "Oh, we're dropping the charge," and it's like, and I swear I keep forgetting to get this, but I'm going to get it after I'm done with this lawsuit. But there's a part after they say, "Oh, we're just dropping the charges," and I'm like, you can just like I lit up just like that. I was like, I'm laughing about it, and it's like, and the judge is like, obviously he's excited about this news. I wish the state wouldn't have wasted the court's time. And I'm like, Your Honor, I'm like, don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. And I am not joking. I said that while on record. And that's why I say I want to get, I should have got it before this lawsuit, but whatever.
Maybe it's safer for after.
Yeah, whatever. The record's always going to be there. So whatever. It's funny though. It was hilarious.
Hey, give the audience your location so they know where to go. Like, subscribe, follow.
For the most part, I'm strictly on YouTube. It's called The Armed Fisherman on YouTube.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah, and I have a Instagram. I really don't use it. It's SoloYaker.
You're honest though.
Yeah, I used to when I was doing a lot of my fishing stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I was always on. It was Instagram, and that's why I was saying I really don't mess with anything else.
YouTube,
at this point, I'm about making money.
Find them there. Find them there. So, yeah, you can go all kinds of places with your videos, right?
If I was a girl and I was an Instagram model and I was making thousands and getting DMs all day, yeah it'd be one thing. But I'm not that girl and I'm not that sexy, so you know, I rate myself as a 5, a 6 on a good day.
That's better than what I rate myself. So good for you, man.
It's only because I carry a big gun, you know.
Yeah.
Without the big gun, you know, shoot.
Well, are you married?
Yes, I am married.
Were you married before or after you started making videos?
I was married before I even owned a firearm. I
She
was
doesn't
married.
care about your gun then.
Shit. That's the only. I think sometimes that's the only thing that keeps us together. But so yeah, well, if I'll send you a link later, and if you actually watch the deposition and mind you, I'm not a lawyer.
Right.
His lawyer got to depose me, ask me a bunch of questions, all this stuff, and then I got to depose him. The guy that got arrested gets to interrogate the guy that he's suing.
Interesting.
How much more classic? How 360 is that, dude?
You're not allowed to release that stuff, are you?
Oh yeah, it's public record. Oh yeah, it's on my YouTube channel.
So as soon as you have that, are you allowed to release it that day or the next
I
day?
released it within 4 hours.
See,
I didn't have to edit anything. I just had to cut out a couple little sections at the end because we talked about some things that I didn't want to be discussed, and I cut out beginning as it was starting up. And other than that, it runs in its entirety.
But that's like another right you're showing people, because I didn't know that was a right either. I mean, to be able to record your whole experience.
What now? When it's your lawyer, you can get it from your lawyer,
right?
But because it's me, I am my own lawyer. It's basically saying I'm like any lawyer channel can take their own depositions and put them out there to expose whatever they want to expose of who they're exposing, because it's in their possession. But it could be in the client's possession. It's just usually they're not going to give it to the client until after the court proceedings.
So I guess, again, this guy does not give legal advice. But like, how did you get so knowledgeable on that stuff? Like, when did you go to school, or did you just start reading?
You really want to know what it is, everybody? You want to know how you get really educated? YouTube. YouTube. I am not joking. A lot of everything I got, yes, I took from YouTube and then I verified it. But a lot of, if you were to type in open carry, whatever state, and they actually have a law for it, there's going to be numerous people that talk about it. They're going to give you statutes or penal codes or whatever.
Right.
You take all that information, and this, mind you, this is years of me doing this. This is going on my 5th year of me doing this. That's why when you hear all the numbers I'm spouting off right off rip, this is 5 years of me doing this. And
so you know it now, but still, it took a lot to get there.
It took me about the better part of 2 years to get the basics down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I dug deeper and started finding all the intricate laws that really make them not able to do all the things that they're doing. And that's where educating yourself, and a lot of these things can be done with YouTube. Yes, you are going to have to look into your whatever state you're in, like Florida statutes for me.
Right.
But then there's a search engine in most of your states. It'll direct you to specific laws that are only about fishing or guns or whatever, and it'll help. And that's the hardest thing about all of this, is that
just know your rights. Know your rights. The message of the Armed Fisherman.
And with the lawsuit half of it, there's a friend of mine that I know. I'm not going to put him out here on this channel because I didn't talk to him about it before this.
Mm-hmm.
Help me understand how to file. Filing a lawsuit is extremely hard because you have to detail so much. And then when the judge or whoever's looking at it has to look at all the facts that you're giving them just on paper. There's no video attached to this paper, but you're going to explain where the violations are. I didn't know none of that. Without this guy's help, I wouldn't have gotten where I'm at. And then there's motions. There's all types of things that happen throughout this. And you can follow it on Pacer. and that way you know it's a legitimate lawsuit. It's
Pacer,
going
that's
through,
a government website, right?
yeah, that's where you look up the Johnny Depp
Right.
Amber Heard lawsuit through there through Pacer
Yeah.
because it's a lawsuit that's going through a court system.
Hmm.
You know, anything that goes through a court system, there's going to be some kind of record of it on Pacer, and there's a couple other websites, but Pacer's the good
Easiest
one.
one.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I wish you the best of luck in all of that, sir. I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know you were going through that, but, you know, I hope it ends up the way you want it to end up, you know?
The thing about it is the accountability, because I was arrested, but he actually, when I broke down some of the laws, he actually violated. He was in a second-degree misdemeanor. He violated a second-degree misdemeanor against me, but I can't get him arrested. So how do I hold him accountable? What other way do I hold him accountable? And if you actually watch this deposition of me deposing him, this guy, like, see how I'm looking at this like I'm looking at the screen and I'm actually, this is how he was.
Oh, he wouldn't even look at you.
It's like, do you believe, like, I would ask him a question. Do you believe you violated my civil rights? Nah, no, I didn't violate them. Do you know what the Fourth Amendment is? Due process. But the Fourth Amendment's due process. He wouldn't even look at the camera.
Yeah.
He just, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that he arrested me. He doesn't care about my rights. He doesn't care. If you showed up in Bell Harbor and he met you, he wouldn't give two shits about your rights. That's how bad this cop is. And
Yeah. Well, let's turn this around, man. I hope you get everything you want to get out of this and it all turns out for the best. No more issues with any police, right?
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That's all I can
let's
do.
everybody go find the Armed Fisherman at YouTube. Follow along with him. Find him
Yeah.
on YouTube. That's his main platform. He
Main
admitted he
platform.
doesn't use the others that much. All right. Well, thanks for sharing, man. That was some tough stuff, and I appreciate you coming on here and saying that. You know,
Yeah.
people are gonna want to hear your story. I'm sure they're gonna put more of it out there. They can find you and go as far as you want to go with it, and do whatever you want to do on your channel. Right?
No, yeah. You know, and you can like it, you can hate it. You know, I'm okay with, you know, I get people don't like what I do. Some people don't like it. Some people
Right.
love what I do. You know, it's a mixed bag. It's up to however you perceive who I am. And
Keep it PG at least, right?
yeah, I try to be peaceful. Sometimes I go off the hinges, but very rarely.
I know Creed maybe has like some medical classes he took in school, like down the wrong pipe. So if I drink something and it goes down the wrong pipe, does it go into my lungs?
Not all the way down. It depends on how far it goes, but it goes down to your trachea and then to your bronchi and then can split up.
So what happens if it gets in there?
Out. That's why you cough. Nothing's supposed to be there. That epithelium is different. Like,
okay, so if it goes down the wrong pipe, you cough it out.
yeah, that's why you cough. Yeah, because
But what if like some of it gets way down in there?
That's how people choke, right?
In their lungs?
Like, what do you talk? Like, you talking about? Like swallowing like a golf ball and actually like a
No. I'm talking about like liquid, like
liquid.
You know,
it'll go all the way down to your lungs. If it has, yeah, your lungs.
Same thing if you drown.
You're inhaling crap all day. If you inhale water down your trachea, it's not going to come out. No, it'll be absorbed.
So how do you get it out of your lung then?
It'll be absorbed.
Oh, so it does come out.
But it doesn't sit there forever.
So it gets absorbed through the lung.
Yeah, through the lungs. And if you, like, when you inhale smoke and you inhale dust, right? Like you walk in the dust storm, you inhale smoke. That smoke's going to go to your lungs, and it just sits there and gets broken down.
Okay.
There's a lot of cells there.
All right, that answers my question. See?
So wrong pipe is exactly just that. Like when you swallow stuff, it's a different lining than the trachea. So the lining of your esophagus is can take damage.
Okay. See? All right, we answered one. All right, the next one I wrote down. Is there any? This came up in like a conversation with my kids, but when I heard the word, I was like, What the hell? Is there any like proper way to use the word smoosh?
Smoosh.
Yeah, like I was like, I said something like smooshing the cards together or something.
Smush.
And I thought about like smoosh. What the hell is smoosh?
You meant to say smush.
So it's like slang for smush.
Nobody's ever said smoosh until you said that to your kids a couple days ago.
Well, I've heard it somewhere. I've heard smooshing.
Mm.
So it's slang for smush. All right.
It's your own
Smush
slang
Parker.
for smush.
Remember Smush Parker? Played for the Lakers.
Sauce Gardner, a football player.
He got burnt by Diggs, didn't he?
How do you get the nickname Sauce?
That's the only name I know. I don't know. It must be that good. Or that cool. He must be that cool to have a nickname like Sauce. God, I wish my nickname was Sauce.
Better than Pop. Better than
For all
Pop.
the audience, like Bossman's almost like self-given, only because the reason I got the name Bossman is with my kids, because I went around to 2 fast food restaurants, and when the person handed me my bag, they said, "All right, Bossman, thank you." And I was like, "The guy called me Bossman?" I was like, "Who?" And then the second one called me Bossman again, and that's been my name ever since on the podcast.
And two different workers.
2 different restaurants, 2 different workers, both called me Bossman.
I think your official nickname, Pop Man, should be
Well,
your name.
I used to be a pop man. So Armed Fisherman, you know how I get the nickname Pop Man? Up north, they call soda pop.
Yeah.
So I was somewhere where and I don't know, Creed, did I keep saying pop? I want to pop.
Yeah, and they're looking at you like, what?
Yeah, and then this random ass guy at the tailgate started calling me Pop Man. And for a while I was Pop Man, and I got some other nicknames. But
you yelled at him for calling it soda, and he said, "You're a soda man. I'm the Pop Man."
I don't remember the details. It was fuzzy. It's fuzzy. An old man thing, like when you do something, or like your wife says, like, "God, that's such an old man thing."
You know, I can't say it's something my wife does, but it's something I've noticed in my life, and especially with a kid, is I take a lot more naps. I don't know if that's an old man thing or what. My dad, like every now and again when I go to my parents' house, my dad, like 4 o'clock, he'll sleep till 4 until like 6 o'clock just to get up and eat, and then watch friggin' his CNN.
You're not wrong.
Or whatever.
That's me too. I'm turning into that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man.
I'll tell you this. I do not go a Saturday or a Sunday or a holiday weekday where I don't take a nap. I promise you.
If you take a nap after dinner you go sit on the recliner and fall asleep, that's old man.
Yeah, dude. He falls asleep on the recliner. You had to wake him up.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with my mom. I'm like, where is he? He's like, oh, he's still out. He's probably passed out on the recliner. I was like, no way. I go out there. He's just sitting there, friggin' vodka in hand.
I remember grandparents used to do that too. Some of my grandparents used to pass out like that.
As soon as what up was eating dinner at 4 o'clock, passing out on the couch by 5.
During a football game on Thanksgiving.
That doesn't count. That's everybody.
Yeah, that's everybody. It doesn't matter. Once the turkey goes in, man, friggin', you're sitting there, you're like, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Talking about this, we kind of took a turn here that I don't like. It's gonna make me maybe bring a tear to my eye. Thanksgiving always has the eve.
Yeah, that was the best. I don't know.
When you were younger, did you used to celebrate Thanksgiving Eve?
No. To be honest, as a chef, I friggin' hated Thanksgiving. So what I actually did,
like the night, that was like the night of a year where you
that was my favorite
most fun you'd ever have. It was like Disney World.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, as a chef, I was making the same. It didn't matter. Yeah. But it was all the prep for the next day. So I'd walk in at 8, 9 o'clock, not leave till 9 o'clock. We're prepping turkey, stuffing, this, that, the other, all this.
So you were a chef?
Yeah, I've been a chef almost as long as I've been old.
Dude, I like to do this thing called LUDE cookbook, where guests come on and they tell me about their go-to recipe that they have to make. They're the best making. And then if I ever do like a cookbook, I'll like ask the people if they want to be in it. Eat 1 page each. So what's your 1-page recipe?
Mine?
As a former chef, your
Okay.
go-to recipe.
This is my dish.
I'm gonna listen back and write it all down.
Right. Pan-seared, whatever type of fish, doesn't matter. Mahi, something white. No, not you could probably use salmon, but something white, mild. Mahi is a great one. You got sweet potato, red pepper, avocado hash. You've got lemon braised spinach, and then you got a banana habanero verblanc, which is a white wine butter sauce with banana and habanero flavoring in the sauce.
Hey, I just watched Creed Branner's micro expression, and like he was like all for it. I saw his eyes like go back into his skull at one point.
I was trying to put it all together, but that sounds incredible.
It's kind of Caribbean-ish type of thing, and I will tell you, I made it as a special once, and then next thing you know, it's on a menu.
How would that be with Chilean sea bass?
Amazing. It's a high dollar fish.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best fish. It's got very, like, when you cook it, it flakes off, and it's got these really meaty flakes on it. Amazing fish. Not taking anything away from it. I just say with milder fish, you get more of the flavors, because Chilean sea bass has it's not strong fish flavor, but it has a more predominant flavor, and I think it's just where it comes from.
It doesn't really need much. It just takes it's very sweet. It's not fishy,
Yeah,
but
it's more of a sweeter type of fish, and that's why I say mild. Something that it's not going to be, but it could be anything white. It doesn't matter, because you're going to get.
What's like? Give me your favorite fish.
Mine?
Yes. Creed, is yours Chilean sea bass?
Yeah, for me, Chilean sea bass. But with this reduction he's talking about, it might be too sweet. I might have to use a Mahi Mahi.
Yeah, because you have a lot of sweet things. For me, it's going to be a toss between hogfish and pompano.
Okay, those aren't two you hear about a lot.
I'll tell you right now, pompano, they call it like, all you have to do is put some garlic and butter in it, cook it, and it's like a fishy, lobstery flavor. They eat a lot of crustaceans, so you have a lot of that shellfish flavor in the seafood itself. So you don't have
which one was that again?
Pompano.
Pompano. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, I love me a crab leg man at heart, but anything that tastes like that, scallops, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, scallops is another one. Oh man. You can't go wrong with a scallop.
Did you ever go scallop hunting in the Gulf there?
Yep.
Okay.
Up in Clearwater, up in towards the Panhandle up there.
Yeah, up in the Big Bend.
Yeah, dude, that was it was a fun time. I was actually walking out on a flat, and I'm walking out to get into deeper water. I got my kayak with me, and I'm just pulling it along because it's shallow. Like, I thought they were rocks at first. I'm like, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's a rock. Oh, it's a rock. And next thing you know, I'm like, I'm stepping on a lot of rocks. What is this? I reach down, I pick it up, and I'm like, I'm holding a scallop, and I'm like, well, I guess I don't need the kayak. Throw the anchor, and I just started walking this grass flat, and I'm picking
you didn't even have to go out in the water. They were right there.
They were right there.
You have a state of Florida fishing permit. You're allowed to fish wherever you want in the state.
I fish and keep just about everything, long as it's something within regulation.
Right.
Like lobster here, Florida lobster, you have to have a special permit for that. Snook, you have to have a special permit. If you want to keep a tarpon, you have to have a special permit. There's only really like a handful of things that you have to have special permits for. But a regular fishing license.
A fishing license was like I don't know, like a driver's test, but you have to answer questions. You have to know what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. You know, then people would understand it. But
well, when you sign off, you sign. Yeah. Even though it's like, oh, I need a fishing license. Like, oh, here's the piece of paper. Just sign the bottom. You know, and a lot of times, some bait and tackle shops, they'll hand you a real like simple cheat sheet of what common fish are known to the area, saying, oh, it's red drum and flounder and this, that, and the other, and they're like, these are the size limits. That's
Wow.
what I think. That's what I really think a lot of people really need to start doing, because most people that go out fishing don't know size limits. And I swear, I was fishing one day, I watched a guy catch 6 fish, illegal as crap, and and
Did
I'm
you
like,
see the? I think I mentioned it on the last show, but did you see the anglers that got caught stuffing lead weights into their fish? And
oh yeah. I
in the
think that was the
competition?
video I did see on your channel, and he's sitting there just gutting them, and those aren't like 1 ounce weights. Those are like 6 to 8 to 10 ounce weights that are inside this.
Yeah, and he put like the fillets and shit in there too. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, whatever they
they're in
do.
court. They're in court for that right now.
Yeah, they won like a couple $100,000 or something like that.
Over their career, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
For
think
the year or
that
something.
tournament was like 25 grand or something, but still.
That's another funny thing. I fished. I used to fish on down here. We have the IFA kayak tour,
Okay.
and it's actually nationwide. It goes up and down the east coast of the nation here. It goes to like North Carolina, Louisiana, all these places. And I fished that kayak tour. They had an X-ray machine, and they had or for the boaters they had an X-ray machine and a lie detector. And for the kayak fishing, they just hooked you up to the lie detector, because we didn't keep our fish on the kayak tour. We just
Is a
took
lie
pictures.
detector, is that legal?
Yep. It's a private entity, and they're trying to keep it realistic, because they know people will cheat.
I never thought a lie detector was like a.
Or-
Like,
I
can
know
they even
that they
use
lie
that in
to-
court?
They're not going to use it in court. They're just trying to see if there's any kind of discrepancies. Like, did you catch all your fish legally? Yes. No, that's a fucking lie, because all the fucking
So it
monitors are
just
going
makes them
nuts.
dig more.
They're gonna be like, yeah, that what you just said. There might not be any truth to it, and we're not gonna believe it. We can't prove it, but at the same time, the lie detector is telling us something different.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to make you do this, but did you ever think about maybe videotaping one of those scenarios?
I only won like $50. I was at the bottom end. The people that they really go after are the winners, are the top 3, top 5 that are winning the $1,000 prizes, tens of $1,000 prizes.
Yeah.
Those are the ones they hook up. I thought when I showed up to the weigh-in, I actually had the biggest fish. But then as later people showed up, they would show up with 2 different fish, and obviously I went down, 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 down,
Yeah.
and then I placed I think I placed 12th in a tournament.
Did you take a picture and you still have the picture where you were on the top?
No.
Oh.
I lost, dude. I mean, I'm sure I can find it on the internet.
Yeah, you were
But
in first place at one time.
at one time, and the great thing about that tour is when it was all said and done, I actually qualified 8 total throughout the entire division. So it was 44 fishermen. I was 8th out of 44, and it was my first professional. So I'm like, hey,
Good story.
8th place.
That'll get you
Winner.
to come back. Yeah.
Retire while you're on the top.
Yeah.
Hey, I was in top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10, baby.
It's only downhill from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the next year I sucked, so
Yeah.
I ruined that.
So I guess we hit an hour, so we're probably going to wrap it up here. I mean, if you guys want to stick around, you're more than welcome to, but I'll probably wrap up this episode.
Yeah, no.
Let's end it with 2 things. I have 2 questions from it. If I want to pan-sear a fish in 5th grade level understanding, tell me how to do that properly.
All right. Are you working on gas, or are you working on like a electric range type of thing?
I've got like a Blackstone. Can I do that?
Is it electric or gas?
Gas.
All right. You're working on gas. Good.
All right.
Go ahead and turn your friggin' burner on high.
All right.
Put your pan on the stove.
Okay.
You can use nonstick. You can use stainless steel. Doesn't really matter.
All right.
Let it sit there for, I'd say, maybe 2 to 3, 4 minutes. Drop just a little oil in the pan. Take a little bit of water just a little touch of water on your finger and throw it in that oil that you just put in there. And if it spits at you, you're good to go. Add more oil, just enough oil so that you need to sear your fish.
Yep.
Coat the pan, push your fish or in the pan, but lay it away from you. Don't drop it towards you. Push it, put the first piece
Yep.
basically next to your stomach, drop it in and push it away. That way the oil pushes away, doesn't burn you.
Okay.
Once that happens, leave your fish alone, and just start looking for it to start coloring. You're going to see the edges start to get color. And once you start to see that light golden brown, then you're pretty much ready to flip. But I always look for water to start rising out of your fish. You're going to see, I can't really, we'll just say 3 to 5 minutes.
All right. All right.
You're good to go. And then usually flip it for another 3 to 5 minutes. Sear both sides good.
Well, no, I know what you were trying to explain there because, just as an example, I was out there cooking a steak like 2 nights ago. And I was like actually down there on the level watching it like cook and change. And I was like, I'm like, maybe this is why people like to barbecue and shit. I don't know.
Yeah. And in the culinary world, that's what I would tell you about it. It's the same thing. It's the same principles of making caramel, or caramel, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
There's this, when you're making that sugar, that's what's inside steaks and chicken and fish, is these carbohydrates, the sugars inside the fish or whatever. And as you cook them, they start to bubble, and that's that caramelization. And as you're caramelizing one side, it pushes it up to the other side. And as you start to see that caramelization coming through the other side, that's when you need to flip to start caramelizing the other side so that you get both sides nice and caramelized. Because what do you like eating, raw sugar or caramel?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Raw sugar is great, but caramel's way better. And if you caramelize the sugars on fish, steak, chicken, whatever, it's only going to bring the flavors out of that whatever protein or whatever it is you're cooking.
See, that's just too much for me right now. That's too advanced.
That I went through that college level stuff right there.
That makes sense.
But that's the principle of why I say, when you say 5th grade, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But the purpose of it is so that you maximize the flavor.
So
Nothing works.
That's why you need the practice. Like, you can't do that on the first time. You have to do it.
Don't you worry. I'm making a YouTube channel about that too. It's going to be a cooking channel.
All right, awesome.
So there's going to be the basics. We're going to go through all the basics, and then
I was going to give you a chance. I was going to say what's next. So go ahead and tell us about that, and give your stuff one more shout out.
Yeah, it's gonna. I haven't created the name. I've got a couple videos in the works. I just bought an air fryer. I'm going to start out with some real basic cooking techniques, get into some air frying techniques, and just real simple, family friendly cooking ideas, and simple. Like I'm gonna put out some of my stuff out there, but I'm also I really need to keep it simple for YouTube, because YouTube, most people's attention span is about 5 to 10 minutes. So I have to create somewhat, not gourmet food, but somewhat simple food in 10 minutes for people to really understand. Check out, there's a channel called Guga Foods.
Okay.
Dude, Guga Foods, he's going to make your mouth water every time you watch his channel.
See, I've said it like 4 or 5 times now. Like, we always leave this show like so hungry. I'm going to go right
to
I'm hungry.
We're about to leave hungry.
Oh, gosh. So the Armed Fisherman, YouTube, main place. He's got maybe some cooking stuff coming out. He's got a good message out there, so be sure to check him out. Creed, anything else from you, sir? Would you like to add anything?
I look forward to that recipe coming out on YouTube. I'm gonna make that mahi mahi with that.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna subscribe.
Make sure that's your first one you put out. I want that one out there.
All right, man. I guess I got to get back to work. Then I guess I got to go offshore fishing to catch that mahi.
Yeah.
The whole process. Farm to table. Farm to table.
Yes, sir.
Tea to table, whatever. All right, guys. Well, hey,
all right, thank you, boss man. Thank you, Creed. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. To anyone that got to see this one, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We got a lot of different things. That's all I can say. This channel's always something different. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow. Subscribe.
Like, share,
Like.
and subscribe.
Share, all that stuff. Yeah. Well, hey, thank you guys very much. All right. Everybody else, take care. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
Hold my tongue never. I say what I feel. Look you in the eye. Never ran, never will. Hold my own destiny. Both hands on the wheel. In the darkness, they found light. So at the top of your lungs, scream. This ain't life. So when they move left, you